In the bustling city of Accra, Ghana, prophetess Nana Mensah was a household name. She was the founder and spiritual leader of Holy Light Ministries International, a megachurch known for its grandeur and her supposed divine powers. With her flowing white robes, golden staff, and captivating sermons, Nana had millions of followers who believed she could heal the sick, foretell the future, and bring prosperity. But Nana wasn't just a preacher. She was regarded as a spiritual force. People from across Africa flocked to her for miracles. Politicians sought her blessings before elections, and wealthy businesspeople attributed their success to her prayers. Her fame grew, and so did her wealth, as offerings and donations poured in. Unknown to the adoring masses, prophetess Nana harbored a dark and chilling secret. In the impoverished neighborhoods surrounding Accra, a troubling pattern began to emerge. Babies were disappearing. Mothers would leave their infants asleep and return to find them gone. These disappearances were often dismissed as kidnappings or blamed on human traffickers, but no one could pinpoint the culprits. One woman, Alma Nyarko, refused to let the mystery go unsolved. Alma's 6-month-old baby had vanished after she visited prophetess Nana's church. Nana had blessed the child during a special prayer session, and Alma believed that the prophetess's involvement was more than coincidental. Determined to uncover the truth, Alma sought out other mothers whose babies had gone missing after similar church visits. Their stories were eerily similar. Desperate for answers, they decided to investigate Nana's church. Alma and a small group of women pretended to be devout followers to gain access to the prophetess's inner circle. One fateful evening, during an all-night prayer session, they noticed that Nana and a few trusted aides disappeared into a restricted section of the church. Alma followed quietly, slipping through the shadows. What she saw froze her in place. In a hidden underground chamber beneath the church, Nana stood before a grotesque altar adorned with bones, blood, and strange carvings. In her hands, she held a tiny, lifeless baby wrapped in white cloth. She chanted in an unknown language, her voice rising and falling rhythmically. Around her were bowls of blood, herbs, and ritual objects. Alma's worst fears were confirmed. Nana was using babies for dark rituals. Her divine powers were fueled by blood sacrifices. Alma fled the scene and reported her findings to the police. At first, the authorities were hesitant. Nana was too influential, her connections reaching into the highest levels of society. But Alma had secretly taken photos of the altar with her phone, risking her life in the process. Armed with this evidence, the police launched a covert investigation. One night, during a supposed miracle vigil, a team of officers raided the church. They uncovered the hidden chamber and found damning evidence: jars filled with human remains, ceremonial tools, and documents detailing Nana's rituals. Nana was arrested, and the news sent shockwaves across the continent. Her followers were in disbelief. Some insisted it was a conspiracy to discredit a woman of God, but the evidence was undeniable. During her trial, Nana maintained her innocence, claiming the rituals were part of her divine instructions. However, testimonies from former aides revealed that she had been part of a secret occult group for years. The rituals were said to grant her spiritual power and worldly success, but they required regular sacrifices of innocent lives. Nana was convicted of multiple counts of murder and sentenced to life in prison. Her church was shut down and its assets were seized. For Alma and the grieving mothers, the victory was bittersweet. The loss of their children could never be undone, but they had stopped a monster from harming others. The fall of prophetess Nana Mensah served as a grim reminder of the dangers of blind faith. While religion remained a source of hope for many, the story of Nana's dark practices encouraged people to question and investigate, ensuring such atrocities would never happen again. In the shadows of her fallen empire, the voices of the lost babies echoed, demanding justice and remembrance. Prophetess Nana's imprisonment left her former followers grappling with shock, anger, and betrayal. Many struggled to reconcile the woman they had adored with the monster revealed during her trial. Her church, once a beacon of hope, stood abandoned, its grand halls now silent reminders of the evil that had festered within. Alma Nyarko, hailed as a hero for her bravery, became a symbol of resilience. She was invited to speak at conferences and community gatherings, sharing her story and advocating for vigilance against exploitation disguised as faith. But Alma's heart remained heavy. The loss of her child haunted her, and she often visited the grave where a small plaque bore her baby's name. Despite her efforts, rumors of other secret cults and practices linked to powerful religious leaders persisted. It seemed Nana's downfall had only scratched the surface of a much larger problem. Months after Nana's conviction, strange reports began to surface. Former church staff claimed to hear cries of babies near the hidden chamber of the church. Some said they saw faint lights glowing from the underground altar at night. The police dismissed these accounts as hysteria, but locals began to avoid the area, convinced that the spirits of the sacrificed children haunted the site. Alma, too, experienced inexplicable events. At night, she would dream of her child, who appeared to her crying and pointing toward a dark forest at the edge of the village. In her dreams, she would hear the baby's faint voice whisper, "Finish it." Alma was not the only one. Several women who had lost their children began to experience similar visions. One by one, they came to Alma, sharing stories of restless dreams and eerie encounters. It became clear that prophetess Nana's crimes were part of something far more sinister. Digging deeper, Alma and her group of grieving mothers uncovered chilling details. Nana had not acted alone. She was part of a secret network of individuals across the region who conducted similar rituals in exchange for power, wealth, and influence. These individuals, cloaked in religious titles, operated in secrecy, their actions hidden beneath layers of piety and societal respect. One name kept surfacing during their investigation: the Brotherhood of the Black Flame. It was a shadowy organization said to span countries, its members including politicians, business tycoons, and religious leaders. Nana had merely been a pawn in their larger game. Alma and her group faced a difficult decision. Exposing the network would put their lives in danger, but remaining silent would allow the atrocities to continue. Alma rallied the mothers and formed a grassroots organization called Voices of the Innocent. They began gathering evidence, interviewing former staff and insiders who had worked with Nana and other suspected leaders. Their efforts caught the attention of investigative journalists, who began to uncover stories of missing children and unexplained deaths tied to other prominent figures. The group faced relentless threats. Alma's home was vandalized. Her phone was flooded with anonymous messages warning her to stop. But Alma remained steadfast. She believed that the spirits of the lost children were guiding her, urging her to seek justice. One night, while reviewing documents with her team, Alma received an anonymous tip about a secret meeting of the Brotherhood of the Black Flame. The meeting was to take place in a secluded villa on the outskirts of Accra. Desperate to expose the network, Alma and a trusted journalist decided to infiltrate the gathering. Disguised as caterers, they gained access to the villa. Inside, they witnessed rituals similar to those conducted by Nana. Wealthy and powerful individuals stood in a circle, chanting while a robed figure prepared an altar. To Alma's horror, she saw a young child being brought into the room. Realizing the gravity of the moment, Alma managed to capture footage of the ceremony using a hidden camera. But before they could escape, the group was discovered. Alma and the journalist were captured and taken before the leaders of the Brotherhood. They were warned that exposing the truth would bring severe consequences, not just for them, but for anyone associated with them. But Alma, driven by the memory of her child and the cries of countless others, refused to back down. Before the Brotherhood could act, police stormed the villa. It turned out that the journalist had sent a live feed of the footage to his newsroom, prompting an immediate response. The raid led to the arrest of several high-profile individuals, and the footage was broadcast across national and international media. The revelations rocked the continent. Governments launched investigations into religious leaders and cult practices, leading to more arrests and uncovering long-hidden atrocities. Alma's bravery became a rallying cry for justice, inspiring others to speak out against exploitation and corruption. But Alma paid a heavy price. She lived under constant protection, knowing that the Brotherhood still had loyal members seeking revenge. Despite the danger, She continued her work, dedicating her life to helping vulnerable families and ensuring no mother would ever suffer the pain she endured. The spirits of the lost children, she believed, had finally found peace. Their cries no longer haunted her dreams, replaced instead by the faint sound of laughter, a sign, she hoped, that justice had been served. And so, Alma's story became a symbol of resilience, courage, and the unyielding pursuit of truth in the face of unimaginable darkness. Although the raid on the villa had exposed many high-profile members of the Brotherhood of the Black Flame, the organization's roots were far deeper than anyone realized. Some of its most powerful members remained hidden, watching as Alma Nyarko and her movement, Voices of the Innocent, gained momentum. Determined to silence Alma and reclaim control, the Brotherhood began a covert campaign of intimidation. Alma's closest allies started receiving anonymous threats. A journalist who had worked with her on the investigation mysteriously disappeared, his car found abandoned near a river. Another former insider who planned to testify against the cult was found dead in what authorities ruled suicide, though many suspected foul play. Despite these setbacks, Alma refused to back down. She knew the Brotherhood wanted her to falter, but she had come too far to stop now. She intensified her efforts, collaborating with international human rights organizations to expose the full extent of the Brotherhood's influence. One day, Alma received an unexpected visit from an elderly woman named Ma Kojua, who had once been a spiritual advisor in the same region where Nana Mensa had risen to power. Akojua revealed shocking details about the origin of the Brotherhood and its connection to ancient rituals. She told Alma about the prophecy of the flame, an ancient legend that claimed the Brotherhood could only achieve ultimate power if they completed a final ritual involving the blood of a child born under a rare celestial event. Ma Kojua believed the Brotherhood's recent activity was tied to this prophecy and warned that the group would stop at nothing to fulfill it. But Akojua also revealed something else. Alma herself was connected to this prophecy. Her bloodline had a special significance to the cult. Alma's family, she explained, had been guardians of an ancient artifact, the Seal of Light, which could destroy the Brotherhood's dark power. However, the artifact had been lost generations ago. Determined to end the Brotherhood's reign of terror, Alma began searching for the artifact. Ma Kojua joined her, offering guidance and recounting old stories about its last known location. Their quest took them deep into rural Ghana, where they visited shrines, consulted with traditional priests, and interviewed elders who remembered fragments of the legend. After months of searching, Alma and her team uncovered an abandoned cave hidden in a dense forest. Inside, they found ancient carvings depicting the Brotherhood's rituals and a small, intricately designed box. When they opened the box, they discovered the Seal of Light, a luminous stone etched with mysterious symbols. Ma Kojua explained that the artifact's power could only be activated by someone pure of heart who had suffered a great loss. Alma, having lost her child and dedicated her life to justice, was the chosen one. Word of Alma's discovery spread quickly, reaching the Brotherhood's inner circle. Knowing the seal could destroy their power, the cult launched an all-out assault on Alma and her allies. Armed men attacked her safe house, forcing her to flee with the artifact. The Brotherhood also escalated their attacks on Voices of the Innocent. Their headquarters was burned to the ground, and several members were injured in a car bombing. Despite the chaos, Alma remained resolute, determined to use the seal to end the Brotherhood once and for all. Alma and her closest allies, including Ma Kojua and a team of activists, prepared for a final showdown. Guided by visions and ancient maps, they discovered the Brotherhood's main temple hidden deep in the Volta region. The temple, shrouded in secrecy and protected by heavily armed guards, was where the cult planned to conduct their ultimate ritual. Alma infiltrated the temple with the Seal of Light, her heart pounding with both fear and determination. As she reached the inner sanctum, she witnessed the Brotherhood's leader standing before an altar, preparing to sacrifice another innocent child. Before they could complete the ritual, Alma stepped forward, holding the seal aloft. The artifact began to glow, its light growing brighter until it engulfed the entire room. The Brotherhood's members screamed as the light burned away their dark energy, shattering the symbols of their power and destroying the altar. With the ritual interrupted and the Brotherhood's power broken, the surviving cult members were arrested in a massive police operation. The Seal of Light, its purpose fulfilled, crumbled into dust. Alma returned to Accra a hero, though the battle had left her scarred. She knew the fight against corruption and exploitation wasn't over, but she had dealt a devastating blow to one of the darkest forces in the region. In honor of her bravery, Voices of the Innocent was expanded into an international organization dedicated to protecting vulnerable children and exposing the misuse of religious power. Alma continued to lead the movement, her story inspiring countless others to stand up against evil, no matter how powerful it seemed. And though she still mourned the loss of her child, Alma found peace in knowing that her actions had saved countless others. The spirits of the lost children no longer haunted her dreams. Instead, they seemed to guide her, their laughter a reminder that even in the face of darkness, light could prevail.